Oh man, I am getting a full dose of the Halloween spirit right now. I just read Nights #1 from Image Comics. This is good. I don't want to use the tagline from the press release, but it says Scott Pilgrim meets Fright Night. I was going to say it kind of felt like Los Espookies on HBO show. That's where I was feeling, because there's a comedic element to this. There's definitely an anime style to the artwork. Not crazy anime style, but there's definitely a little anime influence to the artwork. This book is really good, and a lot of stuff is happening in it, and I can't wait to talk about it with you. Nights #1 comes out October 11th from Image Comics. Here's the little synopsis that I like to read. It's in the book. Florida is owned by Spain. America consists of 31 states. Vampires, ghosts, and other supernatural creatures are common and benign. The internet is infantile and irrelevant. I want to say it's like 1999 is where the time period is right now. And because there's a Blockbuster there as well. The creative team on the book is, the book is written by Wyatt Kennedy. Art is by Luigi Formisano. Colors are by Francesco Segala. And it's lettered by Maria Letizia Mirabella. And I apologize if I butchered anybody's name, but it's a beautiful book. It's a really beautiful book. This is a lot of fun. And it was a good, it's 52 pages, 53 pages, right around there. It was a good, nice long read. Very insane world that you walk into, and you walk into it from the perspective of a child. I want to say it's like 12-ish, 10, 12 years old. And so it's just like this point of view of wonderment that you're looking at the universe. And then the universe is really chaotic because there's like ghosts, there's vampires, there's an assassin. Who else is in there? Just a regular dude. And plus, like, they're kids as well. So, like, it has like this Goonies, Monster Squad, nostalgia feel to it. But then there's like modern tones as well. Like the whole Spanish influence on Florida is really cool. But then they're just like eating pizza like kids, and you're like in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mode. Like so I totally get the reference of Scott Pilgrim and Fright Night, because there's a vampire and then there's a kid, and what happens with the vampire is the big question. And you're left with a huge cliffhanger of, you have this kid introduced in the world, and then you have this vampire, and what is their relationship going to be like moving forward? And are things going to escalate to this epic, crazy proportion of Bonkersville? Because you have like ghosts living in the house and walking around the neighborhood, and then there's so much stuff going on in this book. I cannot believe how cool it is. Like, I actually was like, this is the coolest. Like, if I was the cool kid at school right now, I would be reading this book, or I would be like these people. I felt uncool, and I felt old reading this book, because how cool this book is. I've never had a book I've really liked make me feel uncool before, but like, this book is so cool. It made me like, I was like, man, I'm a dork. I'm a total dork after reading this. Like, cause it's a beautiful book too. Let's go look at some pages. I'm going to talk about this a lot. If you're doing a horror book or you're doing like a scary book, black gutters totally make it work really well. I wasn't the hugest fan of the lettering for how the music goes in here, but I do love the action of the scene. The vampire gets hit with a skateboard in the previous panel, and it's accidental, but like this spinning swirl of her flopping, and then you have the reaction there, the plop, and then you have his reaction, and then a far away shot, and then a close-up shot. You don't even need the words. You just can read it with taking all the visual cues in. And I love the action-y anime angles that they use there. And I do like how the band is layered on top. So like, you hear that first and then you hear that, or you kind of hear it simultaneously. But the way the band is colored, because he's listening to his headphones, you see the headphones later on, but that's like That's him imagining the music and them trying to translate that in a comic book form. And I think that was kind of cool. I would have maybe just changed the music to a different font or had it differently in there. And then I'm really confused about this panel. I don't know exactly what happens here. Like, does her hand go in and shift her brain around? And then the hand comes out? I didn't know. I don't know how vampires work in this book. But again, it's one of those things where I just like enjoy the ride with it and I take it in really. I take it all in. You know, you have a nice cinematic panel of her reaching in her head and moving her brain around and then pulling her hand out. But I can't tell if she's trying, like, what I can't tell is in the second panel if it's coming in or going out. So maybe a few different action lines there to kind of make it work. Because it kind of looks like her hand is going in her brain there. But then I don't know. You have the blood on the hand, so you have to assume that it's coming out. But like it's not. It doesn't look like it's moving out. It kind of looks like it should be the panel above, and then it goes into the brain. But then why would you have blood there? Small little gripes. Not worried about it. Because I love you have the anime style with the stars and the quick whip of the thumb up and the smile in the blood. And then I love the lettering of the slap. I like these thin panels a lot where you can see like the whole world of Florida, her floating, and then his perspective as well. Like it's really set up nice. But you see with the slap, you have action. So you can tell that the slap is going one way to the other. Or maybe there's something missing on this upper panel and the lower panel that would make it more, because you have action with the stars right there and you see the swing there. Like it doesn't make sense that there isn't action lines on these two panels, but we'll figure it out. Nice little anime thing on this page, like blushing. I love when they change backgrounds due to background colors due to emotions. That's always really cool. And I like the way her handshake leads to a page turn. And this is at the end of the book where they kind of like give you this kind of cliffhanger of the future. And that's when you know you're in like this wild ride scenario of a world. Overall, Knights #1 is a great first issue that is all over the place. Like it is all over the place. And it has so many cool elements in it, nostalgic elements, horror elements, modern storytelling, like so many cool elements in a first issue. And it's a long issue as well, where it's a must buy. And it definitely, in the spooky month of October, this is like a no-brainer buy. Go buy it, go enjoy it. After you read it, come back here, comment below on your thoughts on it. Talk to me about the artwork, talk to me about the colors, talk to me about the story, because it's good.